Hi, Scott.
Hey, how you both doing?
Very good. I always just think of the Goonies whenever I do an interview with HeyUGuys. It just instantly makes me think of stuff. Yeah, right,
That's the plan.
It's a nice thought, isn't it?
Yeah, it also reminds you how old you are.
Yeah.
Same with me. Very old.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing with everything? First off, are you staying safe? Are you enjoying your time at home, or not enjoying your time at home?
I've just had a baby, not personally, but we've just had a baby.
Oh wow!
So it was going to be like this anywhere for me, I think. It's just like an extended version of baby lockdown. Yeah.
Lockdown for you? No, I'm doing good. I'm just keeping it like in the day and just trying to be, help to others and keep a bit of discipline going and not taking myself too seriously and doing a bit of exercise, cooking. I'm watching a lot of Ricky's live things, and I've gone back to the office and started watching The Office again. That's been very entertaining. It's like different animals. Afterlife, and it's totally different. It's amazing how different all the shows are that he's created. But yeah, a bit of comedy, a bit of cooking, a bit of dancing.
Yeah,
a lot of zooming.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Lots of zooming. I've never done so many quizzes online in my life, but it's good fun. We talked about Ricky there. I'll say congratulations on the show. I mean, I watched most of season 2 yesterday, and it's just as brilliant as season 1 was. I just wondered for you guys, first and foremost, how excited you were to go back, and also knowing that Ricky is one of the few people that have managed to bridge the second album syndrome with all of his shows over the years. I just wondered how excited you were to read it, and you must have been so delighted with your characters as well as the journey of Ricky's character as well.
Well, we didn't so much as read series 2. The first thing Joe and I found out was that we were going to have quite a intimate scene with each other. Ricky was very keen to tell us about that, wasn't he? He couldn't wait for that one. So we were already excited about that and some other ideas that Ricky had spoken about. But weirdly, it felt like Ricky had a really good grasp on what he wanted series 2 to be. Series 1, he felt out over a good while. I knew about it for a year before we even started filming. This time round was much faster. He had clear ideas, and you'd go in for the meetings and there was solid stuff there. There was still a bit of workshopping and chat around that, but he really had a clear idea of it, and that was exciting to see that he had a good idea and that he knew what he wanted to happen. Because you never know. I write too, and you just go, I don't know what to do next. I don't think I can do anything. And that can happen. And Ricky would never do something that he didn't think was properly good. So it was great to find out that he had some thoughts. And I think he may have some thoughts for a third, but we don't know yet. We'll find out.
Yeah, no, I was the same. I was over the moon, to be honest, because I got a text from Ricky saying, do you get the scripts and doing this show, and I'd love you to play this character. And it was just a couple of little scenes in Ep 2 and Ep 5, and that scene where I came in to see Lenny in the office. We just, after that, he texted me and was really funny, brilliant. And then so I was really honoured to see that he kind of, expanded the character a bit and, was happy to bring us in, myself and who plays James Ethan, and just expand on those crazy little characters. I just love being with them all. So it was a lot of fun to film, and just great to explore a bit more. And it's always nice to work with a group of wonderful people who are exceptionally talented. What more would you want?
The cast is insane. It really is. It's so good. I'm not sure there are many people that could put everyone together, but they're like genuinely, well, it's not even that some of these actors could have their own sitcoms. There are actors in this that do have their own sitcoms, like Roisin and Diane Morgan and Joe Wilkinson, and they're all just drop everything to come and do this, which is testament to Ricky's pulling power. And they're not just doing
Tom?
And Tom, yeah, he's had series after series of his own sitcom. I can't name everyone. They're all more famous than me. I don't want to give everyone too much.
We need to sort that out, Tony. We need to get right in.
Spin-off. I'm desperate for a Lenny and June spin-off.
That would come on now.
Come on.
That would be hilarious. That would be brilliant.
Bosses coming around for dinner, all that sort of stuff. Really oddly traditional.
Definitely life. There's life in it, isn't there? I mean, that's what I loved about this. The second season, it's like, there's a little bit, we explore that, and I think June, she's just over the moon, isn't she? She loves fussing, she talks too much, and she overshares. So that's it. It's very nice. Not much acting.
I did want to touch on.
Outfit.
Yeah, exactly. I did actually want to. You mentioned it there about the relationship between your two characters, which is a very sweet, a very new relationship. It's got a sweetness to it and a real kind of love between them, if you like. And obviously, you share that wonderful scene together in, I think it's episode 2 or 3, which must have been hilarious to not just see it to film, but also to see it when it's put together, because it's such a Ricky Gervais moment, and it's brilliantly funny, but also it's slightly on the verge of cringy, but also very real in some respects.
There's also a thing that I've never quite got over, especially in scenes like that. I don't ever remember how funny I look, if you know what I mean, like literally funny. I always like, yeah, that's why everyone was laughing, because I got this like weird look on my face. It was good fun to film. It was impossible to film for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Ricky didn't make that any easier. He was laughing. He wasn't in the scene. He was just laughing over there.
I think that was the scene that we did most takes on, because people were laughing so much. I mean, I used to just do one or two tops, and then it was like 5 or 6. We were all just like.
The stuff when we're all in the office together, it's sort of, there's a few breaks, but when you're in that's all quiet, because it's choreography going on and everyone's got a bit. When you're like that close to someone and then someone else is coming in here and Ricky Gervais is laughing there, that is hard. There's a few scenes like that in this series. There's stuff in the rehearsals as well, which you're at, aren't you, June? For the night.
The show, yeah. Oh, more humiliation for June and James in that show. What a cracker. I love that though. Secretly love that moment, and it's just always been a bit of a dream. So I won't give too much away, but yeah.
But really, all of the scenes where it's close up stuff. It's like the stuff where Ricky and I are doing the interviews with respective newspaper stories. They're always hard, because often it's a guest has turned up and you don't know what they're going to look like and how they're going to play it, because they haven't been at that much rehearsal, and it's normally just impossible to film with them. Steve Spears turned up in this one. It's just this extraordinary character who's been putting his letters in the wrong post box, which is, I won't give away the punchline to that, but he was amazing. He just came fully formed as this man. And Holly Dempsey as a girl who's addicted to plastic surgery, just unrecognisable.
Yeah.
Just there's stuff like that, and there's a few scenes with me and June. All of the scenes for the rehearsals for the show were impossible to film because they were so funny. Colin Holt's extraordinary. You're extraordinary, Joe, as is David as Brian and Ethan. All of you like bringing your ridiculous acts. And Colin Holt is
Ricky just did it for his own entertainment.
Everything's for his own entertainment. He doesn't need the money.
No, I'm sure he's got some great outtakes, Tony.
I think he has. There's the outtakes everyone sees, and then there's the private stash. One day that will get released of all of the weird stuff that's been dropped that he may well do.
Well, I just wanted to ask you about the show itself. I mean, Ricky's got this amazing ability because it's a show. It's most people will look at it as kind of a sitcom. It's really not in many ways, because it deals with tragedy as well as humor, and a lot of the humor comes from the human relationships. And I just wondered why you think Ricky is the perfect person, why it's perfect coming out of Ricky's voice, if you like, because he's able to blend the humor with these really touching, really intimate moments that he seems to be just as good at as doing all the comedy.
I think it's because his comedy stuff, and I think he would always mix the two anyway, but it's always based in reality. That's his ever note is make it real, make sure it's real. I think if you're acting real, then you have to have sad stuff mixed in with the happy stuff. And he's also a really good actor, Ricky. People do forget that bit sometimes. He's a great writer and director and everything, but as Joe has said before, he can just flip from laughing to crying quite quickly, and that's quite a skill that not a lot of actors have got. Joe can cry at a drop of a hat, though. She can cry now if you want.
I cry at the opening montage, scene 1, for episode 1. I think Ricky has a great ability to be present, and he's very intelligent, but he's also grounded and very humble. I think he's not fazed by fame or celebrity or no, Tony's like, but it's true. I think that's what happens when you look at, it's an extraordinary, Afterlife is an extraordinary show about very ordinary world, very ordinary people, but it's a topic that's sort of running through it that we're all going to experience. And I think in real life, I lost a parent, and you kind of go through moments of like grief and sadness, and you're overwhelmed, and then you're laughing and you're responding to life, sort of, you feel guilty for laughing. But in this show, it's sort of, that's what's great about it. It encompasses all of that, and it's grounded in reality, and it's not glamorized. It's not trying to teach anyone anything. It's just a show about something we're all going to experience, or we may have experienced. And it's Tony's journey, the character's journey through the initial wanting to take his own life, the dog stopping him, then how humanity throws themselves around him, and then it brings him out of self. And this is what season 2 is about: the hope and the connection and the sharing of the problem and the needing to be useful to others. That empathy that we all kind of really benefit from, and if we can have it and we can find it, to see that somebody out there is just really struggling, or they're struggling too, or you never know what they've been through. And I think Ricky can compress that, and it's the edit and the music, everything about each character in this, for me, I find they've got their own world, and they all kind of feed into each other, like myself and Lenny and James, and how odd that is. And then all the other characters, we all seem to feed into the same sort of primary purpose, I guess, in the same world, and they all enhance each other's lives in a way. And I think that's what's so enjoyable about the second series, is that there's a lot more depth and weight to each of the characters' story.
Yeah, I think also the audiences will spot dishonesty a mile off. So I think if you're going to do something that's about something this serious potentially, and you're going to try and make it funny as well, you have to be honest, and it has to be real. And I think that's his prime directive at all times: keep it real, keep it honest.
He was talking on one of the live feeds the other day. He was saying on one of the live feeds the other day about they were doing like a writing masterclass, and he said, well, just pick a character and then just find a name. What does he do? Who does he hang out with? What does he do at work? Why is he called that? Who are his parents? And I think keeping it so normal and just following each kind of crumb for each character, although it's very thought through, and it's a really clever show, it is very kind of grounded in normal and real and authentic. And I think that's I don't know, it's maybe a gift that he has, it following intuition really, and just
he's also very
simplicity. Yeah, he's very talented. He's got, he's very intuitive, and it's all about the simplicity, I think, of, it's a paradox, isn't it, life? It's so complex, but it's really simple. It's like, this is a little bit like grief, you just never know what's going to come from it. And you don't know what's next in life. We just take things for granted, and we're all finding that now, we're having to sit still and look at things, and we're running through life too much. And I think that's what Ricky's character goes through. All of a sudden he's lost his best friend, and he's lost the love of his life, and he's had to stop, and now he's looking at the memories, and he's looking at the things he should have done, and he's also looking at the good things that happened, and he's sharing that with people. And we have to carry on, so, and the show's, so the topic is like how he wants to take his own life, but how he actually carries on. And that's the beautiful conversation that I saw tweeted last night with Anne, played by Penelope, and Ricky on a bench talking about happiness, and how it doesn't matter whose happiness it is. It's happiness is a good thing. It doesn't have to be yours for you to enjoy it. And that's really beautiful. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it, how profound it is? But it just thought, when I got the scripts, I was like, oh, this would be nice, working with Ricky again. I read it, went to the read through, did a couple of little scenes, and I watched it, and I was sobbing. I actually took a picture and it's like very vain, but I had to show him what was happening in the reaction to me watching the show for the first time when I saw season 1. And he just sent an email back going, "Oh, Joe, are you all right?" And then I've not stopped crying since.
That's a great little thing to end on, I think. So thank you for that. That's wonderful. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure to talk to you. Stay safe, stay well, and good luck with the show.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Take care.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.
See you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!